guys, welcome to our new episode in Practical Research Tool. Our today's episode is about the nature and types of variable. Variable is the heart or central concept in research. It is primarily measurable characteristic that changes in value. It may be different from characteristic to another characteristic, one group to another group, one person to another person, or even with the same person over time. A variable can be anything that may assume different numerical or categorical values. For instance, sex is a variable. It may be male or female, but it won't be applicable as a variable if the setting of the research is an exclusive school for the girls. Socioeconomic status is a variable. It deals with the earnings of every employee or worker and may be the range from 0 to billion pesos. Parents' educational attainment is another variable. It is an educational background of the parents from did not attend to school from to the highest point of education, postgraduate, or even higher than a postgraduate if there is any. So now that we know that there are different variables that can be implied or within our study, let's go to the different types of variable. Let's go to the different types of variable. Number one is the interval variable. Next is ratio variable. The next one is nominal variable. And lastly, the ordinal variable. Let's start with the first one, the interval variable. Interval variable, it gives meaning on the measured difference of two values. For example, the difference between the temperature. For example, we have 60 degrees and 50 degrees. The same as the difference as of 30 degrees and 20 degrees. Meaning, 60 degrees minus 50 degrees, that's 10. 30 degrees minus 20, that is 10 degrees. So that's the difference. So meaning there is a difference between the two. And this bracket, or this is something to do with the bracket. That's why we name it as interval, because there is a specific bracket or a difference between the two. The interval of temperature difference between value makes sense and can be interpreted. Okay? From interval variable, there is a range from minimum to highest at a difference, or from highest to lowest. So that's the interval. There's a point of origin to the finish point. And then the difference of this would be the same as the difference of the another bracket. So meaning there's a level or bracket. Okay, there's a range. So it could be 3 or more row from a table. So that's the interval. So of course, if we say interval, there's a difference between the two values. Okay, don't forget that the interval tells us that there is a difference between the two values. Okay, the difference, a measured difference of two specific value. Okay, that's the interval. Interval variable example: aptitude test scores, pulse rate, blood pressure, temperature, leukocyte count, socioeconomic status, pH, IQ test, SAT scores, and credit scores. Number 2 is the ratio variable. Ratio variable have the property of interval variable and has a clear definition of zero, indication that there is a none of that variable. Example is the height. So there is no zero about that for the height. We don't start with zero, no? Then we have the weight. Of course, every individual upon birth, there's a weight, there's a height. So also with the distance, because we know that distance is a space between 2 points. The distance between the first point to another point, that's the distance. Okay, that's why that's a variable. If there is no zero, that is the variable. The zero is the indication also of the starting point. So in temperature measured in degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit is not a ratio. Why? Because zero under the temperature scale does not mean no temperature at all. Meaning there's a temperature. For example, we have 0 degrees Celsius. If that's 0 degrees Celsius, meaning to say that's very cold. If we have 100 degrees Celsius, that's very hot. Above 100 degrees Celsius, that's steam point. That's a very hot temperature compared to 100 degree or the boiling point, the 100 degrees Celsius. So don't forget that ratio have zero. So there's an indication of zero. We started from the point of origin, just like with the distance, because distance is a point of origin to another point. That's the distance. It is also defined as length, no? That's why we have zero. The zero is named. If the value of zero is have measured, or there is a specific value corresponding to a specific area or a specific phenomena, that's not ratio. Just like with the temperature, 0 degrees Celsius, that's not only 0 degrees Celsius, meaning that's the starting point of ice point. So it is not only 0, but it is a specific phenomena.
Ratio example: length, height, weight, velocity, money, aircon horsepower, density, area, volume, number of calories.
For the number 3, we have the nominal variable. Nominal variable is a discrete variable with no quantitative value. It has 2 or more groupings, although does not imply ordering of cases. So if we say nominal variable, this is something to do with the variable response without number. Example is the biological sex or the gender. So the response would be male or female. Another example of it is on political affiliation. Are you Dilawan or DDS? There are also some of it which is educational attainment. If you are being asked, what's your educational attainment? So you're going to say, I'm a high school graduate. I am a master's graduate. I am a PhD holder. There are a lot more of it. Another example is the eye color. So of course, you're not going to say, I'm number 1 black. I'm number 2 red. You just simply say, oh, my eyes is black, colored black, brown, blue, red. Okay. What type of business have you? Or what is your religion? You simply say what is your religion as saying, I'm a Catholic, I'm Islam, I'm Buddhism. But you're not going to say, I'm number 1 Catholic, I'm number 2 Islam, I'm number 3 Buddhism. So you're not going to say numbers. But you simply say what type of religion or what kind of religion do you have? What is the affiliation of religion do you have? So that is nominal, meaning we respond without numbers, without a quantitative value. That's nominal. Don't forget that. If you say nominal, there's no quantitative value. And however, nominal use numbers for the purpose of identifying name or membership in a group or category. Example of nominal variable: religion, smoking status, blood type, brand of soap, marital status, name of school, political party, diagnosis, zip code, and subject thought. We have ordinal variable. Ordinal variable is a discrete variable also that has two or more categories, which can be rank, meaning there is a ranking in this area, in this type of research. Example of it is the participants, they link or they like listening to the music while studying, and they could answer either neither, sometimes, always. Then you have an ordinal value. If there is a hierarchy of response, just like with never, sometimes, always. So, for example, your number 1 is never, number 2 is sometimes, and number 3 is always, or vice versa. There will be a twist. I'm always listening to the music while studying. I'm sometimes listening music when studying. I never do that. So that would be the responses. So that is the ordinal variable. If there is a ranking from the hierarchy, meaning there's a hierarchy from the highest point to the lowest point, or from the lowest point to the highest point. So that is ordinal. Example of ordinal variable: social class, grades, rating scale, body build, stages of cancer, birth order, pain of patient, degree of burn, position, and type of city or class. Again, we have 4 types of variable. Number 1, we have interval. Number 2, we have the ratio. Number 3, the variable or the nominal. And then the lastly is the ordinal. If we say interval, there is a range. If we say ratio, there is no zero. Nominal. If we say nominal, there is a response but no quantitative value. Ordinal, meaning there is a ranking, there's a hierarchy. So those are the 4 types of quantitative research. Don't forget these 4 quantitative research. So that's all for today, guys, for the different types of quantitative research. I hope you learn a lot from these 4 quantitative research, because this will help you a lot in identifying your research. Specifically, if you're going to compute your value in SPSS, if you're going to put it in an SPSS, you have to be very careful with naming the different types of it. The 4 types of quantitative research. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you like our video presentation for today, our episode for today. And if you really love it and you learn a lot from it, please don't forget to subscribe and like our page so that you will be notified once there is a new video uploaded. So that's all for today, guys. Goodbye. Hope to see you for the next episode.